Hi, my name's Felicia and I'm a real estate agent in the state of Connecticut. I wanted to pop on here and share what my experience has been so far as a real estate agent, and particularly kind of reflecting on the past year that I've had. If you're somebody that is interested in a career in real estate, or maybe you just want to know more about the industry because you see things on social media or in different TV shows, this video will kind of give you a glimpse into what it can be like for agents, especially starting off. In this video, I'm going to share my experience, kind of the good, the bad, some of the things maybe unexpected about the industry so that you can know more and decide if it's a good fit for you. To start off, I want to talk about what I love about working in real estate. I think the big one that a lot of people know about is the flexibility. So you don't have a set schedule every day. You're able to kind of make your own schedule. You're able to have some flexibility and also the work you do. So the way that you're generating leads, the way you run things, you're truly running your own business. So if you're somebody that likes to be creative and kind of make decisions for yourself, this is a good industry to do that. With that, there's a lot of opportunities to grow. You can kind of get out of it what you put into it. Of course, the timeline for that can vary, which I'll get into later, but there's that sense of, the more work I put in, it is something that can kind of build on itself. And there's always opportunities to grow and learn more. One day from the next is going to be different, and you are going to forever have different deals and situations with unique things coming up that maybe you haven't experienced before. So it's definitely an industry where you don't feel stuck and you're able to constantly be learning more. There's always more to learn and more to do. So it's definitely a great industry for somebody who wants to kind of constantly be moving and working towards something and growing. One of the top things that I love is what actually got me into the industry originally, which is that I really enjoy working with people and major milestones in their lives. Prior to working in real estate, I did some work in the wedding industry, and then I did several years in college admissions. So between those were two kind of big milestones that I was able to help people with. So it kind of was a natural progression for me to now also be helping people with buying and selling their homes. So I really enjoy getting to see people from the beginning where maybe they are nervous, they don't know much about the process, they're reluctant in some way, and kind of seeing them evolve and grow, and their excitement when it all is said and done and they're able to, get the keys and move into a new place. That's really exciting and the part of the process that I love the most. Now let's talk about the not so fun side. Some of the things that I love actually also can be very challenging. So the prime example of that is when it comes to the flexibility and the unpredictability of your schedule. You are not actually in total control of your schedule because you have to make sure that you are working with clients of all different sort of needs and interests. So a lot of the time you might have to change things last minute in order to fit things that need to get done by a certain deadline, or you have to do showings in the evening, open houses on the weekend. It's hard sometimes if you're a planner, which I am, to kind of balance that and being okay with being a little bit more unpredictable in your schedule. And there's ways to kind of mitigate it and have some control and some stability, but that's definitely a challenge. The other thing that's unpredictable is your income. So especially starting out, I am only in my second year now. And so I am still very much growing. I still am very much building a foundation, which means that I don't have a steady pipeline yet. So it's hard sometimes because you will have a closing and not always know when your next one is coming, and the amounts will always vary. So it's definitely challenging, and it's not for the faint of heart at all, because you have to be able to run with it. And a lot of times you have to have maybe side hustles or part-time jobs. I work a part-time job just a few hours a week to kind of give me some of that stability. But that's really common. And I think even people who go full-time will have like a side hustle, maybe something they're selling online or things that they're doing just to kind of keep the income coming in until you build up a little bit more stability. Now on to one of the things that has been a huge lesson for me that I was not prepared for. I had a rough past year or so. I felt like I was getting a lot of information from different areas, whether it was other agents at my brokerage, whether it was online trainings, YouTube, emails, whatever I was getting for different programs. And It's great to have a lot of information, but one of the things that I was really lacking was a sense of direction. So how to actually take all that information and all the endless possibilities out there for how to grow your business and actually choose one, apply it, and have it actually pan out. I would consider myself to be somewhat of a go-getter. You know, of course I have my moments where I struggle with motivation, but I think that I am somebody who implements things and is trying as much as I can. And I really struggled because I feel like as much as I was wanting to know what to do and trying my best, I really didn't have a lot of help for a while on making that come true and to fruition. So I actually recently switched brokerages, and in the short time that I've been there, honestly, it has been such a game changer. I have had already several one-on-one coaching meetings. I've had like coaching sessions with like larger groups or small, more people than just one-on-one. I've had trainings. I've had people reaching out to me, my mentors, and people kind of checking in and seeing if I need any help or advice, and really taking that initiative to help me strategize and build my business. And I think that that is going to be a game changer. I'm really excited about this year to kind of see the difference that it makes in my business, and I am really hopeful about it. But I also want to just be honest with you and warn you that that is a huge reality that I think most agents experience, is sort of a disconnect maybe between what they're wanting or the help that they're needing just to get some experiences under their belt, and then maybe not getting as much help as they're needing. So I definitely recommend, like I said, doing your research before you commit to a brokerage. And also don't be afraid to switch if it comes down to you're not getting what you need to be successful. You own your business and you have to do what is best for you. So I strongly recommend doing that. A lot of brokerages will promise training, promise a lot of information being at your disposal, but I think, as a lot of agents can attest to, it doesn't always work out the way that you anticipate or expect it to. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges. And for somebody who knows that you need more direction and maybe somebody who's going to actually guide you a bit more, I would definitely take your time in choosing a brokerage. I would also highly recommend talking to other agents from the brokerage if you can. So not just like the managers or team leads or whoever is kind of in charge. I would say that it's good to talk to agents who kind of don't really have the skin in the game about getting you to come there and finding out their honest experience and their recommendations. I could probably make a whole video about that transition of going from one brokerage to the other and the types of questions to ask, what I was looking for, and what I did to help make that transition a little smoother. But for now, I'll just say, if you have questions, if that's something that you're thinking about, definitely comment below, or you can message me and I'd be happy to answer any of those questions and kind of tell you what my experience has been so far. So hopefully, if that is something that you're needing to do, you know how to go about it. This next one is probably one of the biggest challenges that I've experienced that I think doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it should, just based on how I think common it is and how easy to fall into certain mental traps. Mindset is a huge struggle as a new real estate agent when it comes to comparing yourself to other agents, comparing maybe to what your expectation was that you had for yourself or what you thought it was going to be like. It usually is not anything like what you expect it to be. I think there's a lot of hangups about just like fear and imposter syndrome and anxiety and that uncertainty because of the other things I mentioned. There's a lack of direction a lot of times, and that unpredictability of income. All those things can really cause anxiety and can make it hard to be confident when you are talking to clients and when you are trying to grow your business. It is a very competitive industry. And again, if you're surrounded by people who have a competitive nature rather than maybe like a giving nature, it can be really hard to feel like you have to fend for yourself a little bit. I definitely recommend trying to find a group, whether it's at your brokerage, whether it's an online community, whether it's going to like networking events and just kind of meeting other maybe newer agents, whatever you can do to kind of learn from those who are in that same phase as you are, and building those relationships so you can support each other and not feel like you're going through it all alone. Everyone's like opinion of success is different, but most people don't keep their license. They don't keep doing it past a couple years, if you even make it to a couple years. It is a very competitive industry and a very tough one. So I just definitely encourage you, if you're somebody who wants to start off, to remember it can be so fulfilling and so great. And there's a lot that I do love about the experience, but I also am very real about the fact that it is really hard. And I have not yet reached the point where I can look back and say, you know, it all was worth it, because I haven't yet built that pipeline. I haven't yet gotten my business to a point where I don't have to worry quite so much about each individual transaction. I do hope and believe that that is going to happen. And I'm hoping this could be, you know, a year where things change for me. But I also just wanted to be honest with those who are watching this, in case you're in the same boat, and wanted you to know that you're not alone in that. Overall, just to kind of summarize, I think that what you may not know going into it is that you are going to be figuring out a lot on your own. You're going to have to do a lot of trial and error, which means that you are going to have a lot of failures and hiccups along the way, and it can be really hard and isolating and lonely sometimes when you are not used to running your own business. But on the flip side, there is potential for making really great relationships. There's so much potential for, you know, freedom and creativity and flexibility that can really change your work-life balance going forward once you kind of get a handle on it and you're able to control your schedule and make it the way that you want it to be. So I definitely recommend, you know, considering real estate if you are on the fence, giving it a try, and just taking some of my tips that I gave about interviewing brokerages, you know, trying to find communities outside of your brokerage as well, so that you always have other people you can turn to as well, and just kind of trying not to compare yourself to others. You know, maybe it's not a great idea to follow top producing agents on social media if it's just going to make you feel bad about yourself. My biggest takeaway is just kind of trying to, in this new year, focus on me and my business and what I can control, and as best as I can, sort of blocking out the rest. That's all I have today. I appreciate so much you taking the time to watch this video. I hope it gave you a little insight into some of the challenges and some of the things that you may deal with as a real estate agent, but also some of the awesome benefits, the ability to have some freedom and creativity, things like that, so that you kind of know if it's possibly a good fit for you or not. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any future content just like this one. And definitely comment below if you have any thoughts, anything you'd like to share about your experience, whether you're already an agent or if you are in the process of becoming one, or maybe you're even just starting to think about it. I hope that you will share sort of your thoughts, any questions that you have, and we can all kind of support each other in that. And until next time, I will see you later.